WV Uncommon Place. This podcast is a variety podcast that houses numerous series to cover mental health, empowerment, podcast framework, and various intimate series to get to know the hosts. Along with occasional movies reviews and dives in pop culture with our event podcast episodes. The Uncommon Place digs into bringing guests on that stories don't fit the mold and are very different. WV stands for the great state of West Virginia, and every quarter we cover something in West Virginia. Stacy and myself, JR, are your hosts, so please come along for this venture to our Uncommon Place.
Welcome to West Virginia Uncommon Place. I'm JR, your host, and this is another quick little tidbit. We're going to talk a little bit about Black history in West Virginia. And we're going to talk about John Robert Clifford. J.R. Clifford, to be exact, was born on September 13th, 1848, in the small town of Williamsport in what was then Hardy County, Virginia, and is now Grant County, West Virginia, near present-day Moorefield. Clifford's parents, Isaac and Mary Clifford, were free blacks who lived in the region for several generations. There are more than enough written accounts of Clifford's life and his accomplishments. You can check Wikipedia. There's a thesis biography by Dr. Connie Rice. And on page 3 of the replica edition of Clifford's newspaper, the Pioneer Press, is an article by Paul Ingram Clifford, JR's grandson. There's also a video lecture about Clifford's life and other information that you can look to find out about him. So I'm going to use this summary that is on a project of Friends of Blackwater, the J.R. Clifford project. I'm going to read a little excerpt from that. Attorney John Robert J.R. Clifford, September 13th, 1848 to October 6, 1933, was born in present Grant County, the son of Isaac Clifford and Septina Kent Clifford. During the Civil War, he served as a corporal in the U.S. colored troops. Between 1875 and 1885, Clifford was a teacher, later principal at the Sumner School in Martinsburg. In 1882, he founded, edited, and published the Pioneer Press, West Virginia's first African-American newspaper. In 1887, Clifford became the first African-American admitted to practice law before the West Virginia Supreme Court of Appeals. He was one of the first lawyers in the nation to challenge segregated schools. In Kerry Williams versus the Board of Education of Fairfax District, he successfully argued that discrimination against people because of color alone as to privileges, immunities, and equal protection of law is unconstitutional. The case originated in Tucker County. Clifford won in the local court, and the Williams decision was affirmed November 16, 1898, in a landmark ruling by the state Supreme Court, with Justice Marmaduke Dent writing for the court majority. In 1897, Clifford was elected as a charter member of the American Negro Academy. He served a term as a vice president of the organization. He was the chairman of the committee on arrangement of the 1906 meeting of the Niagara Movement, which was held at Harper's Ferry. This meeting led the foundation for the founding of the NAACP in the 20th century civil rights movement. Still practicing law until his death at age 85, he was the most senior lawyer active in West Virginia. Clifford was buried at Mount Hope Cemetery in Berkeley County, and in 1954, the Civil War veterans' remains were moved to Arlington National Cemetery. Now, the reason that I covered him, not because of his namesake, but just the simple fact that much history right there, it's a wealth of history in West Virginia when it comes to the civil rights and everything that happened. And it baffles me, once again, that this simple education is not known. I did not know this until I started on this research for doing these Black history moments or history in West Virginia. So like I said before, just learning this much, and you can go on and you can Google and find out more and more about Mr. Clifford. It's amazing that all these accomplishments happened once again, and it was one of these things that was just not noted, or just not very well issued to people in the state of West Virginia, or just in Black history in general. Because like I said, today in 2022, I'm telling you this and I'm just learning this as we speak. Well, I researched it, but you get what I mean. But once again, I am JR from West Virginia and Commonplace, and this has been Black History in West Virginia. And I thank you very much, and I am signing off. Please like, subscribe, and catch us on all our platforms.
Please follow WV Uncommonplace on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, TikTok, where we have some great content, Facebook, LinkedIn. Hit up the merch store at onecommonplace.square.site. Join the email list from the website, and rate, subscribe, and give feedback from your favorite podcatcher. And lastly, thanks for listening, and tune into the next episode.